I'm excited about this one tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's not too often that you get a world heavyweight champion, but it's not too often that you get a world heavyweight champion that's embroiled in a litany of controversy. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about this lumberjack match where it seemed like once again the question that everybody's wondering: when will things ever be a-okay in the establishment? And especially what happened during the match, and definitely what happened a few things after that match. We'll talk about all of that. Maybe we'll talk about something else outside of HCW, which had people even further scratching their head. We'll talk about the rest of the establishment. We'll talk about what Joey Knight Jr. had to say last night, because Joey Knight Jr. certainly said a mouthful, and he seems to be happy with the way things are going. But what about Kip Havoc and Aaron Black? And I'll certainly get into that, and we'll maybe even get you ready for a show coming up, a Recess Rumble. Boy, time certainly flies when you're having fun. We're getting ready toward August, which means September, October, November, December, and the year is already more than halfway over, and we're going to certainly try to eclipse all of it, and maybe we'll even try to make what that guy or what he kept saying, Eclipse. I mean, I'll do my best to try to be as loud as him, but I have no doubt we are starting the week off here in style and prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all music and wrestling matters, Sportswire Radio, and certainly the platform that the real deal Eclipse, the establishment, yeah, I still think they're a thing, and certainly HCW have most certainly helped build to the tune of over 1,500 subscribers. But as I say always, in the famous words of Def Leppard frontman Joe Elliott, ladies and gentlemen, let's get rocked, because I know our chat is arriving. I know our guest wants certainly to get a lot off his chest, and I hope his chest is doing okay after what Chris Preston did to him. I'll get into that. We're going to watch that, so don't you worry. And like I said, I got something for our guest here. I got a little surprise for him. No, it's not Chris Preston. No, it's not Carnage. I think he'll certainly be much happier with this surprise. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show off in style on Sportswire Radio, the #1 global radio station where all music and wrestling matters. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, #1 Cable Sports Show. A man that is certainly front and center, not only in the establishment, but also HCW. He's the reigning, defending HCW heavyweight champion of the world. His name is simply put the real deal. Eclipse!
Doing lovely, Tom. I'm doing lovely. Thank you for having me this evening, man.
Yes.
It's really a humble experience. Thank you.
We do have a lot to talk about here tonight on Sportswire Radio. We really do have a lot to talk about in prime
Oh, yes.
time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage. And I will certainly say also that in honor of, I guess, the All Star game being in Atlanta this year, I did the Tomahawk Chop. I didn't realize that, but it seemed like a perfect segue. But yes, you can say hello here in the chat. I do see some people in the chat. I will certainly give you your shout outs. But first, we want to say hello to the champion because he has, I know, a lot of explaining to do. But first of all, let's get into it because for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where you, the real deal Eclipse, the establishment, and HCW have certainly helped build Sportswire Radio to the tune of over 1,500 subscribers. Talk about how it felt to retain your HCW World Heavyweight Championship.
Man, Tom, to be honest with you, it felt great to be able to walk the walk and talk the talk. I will say that. I remember when I was sitting out and I was like, you know what, I got to get my get back, and it was all about revenge for me. It was all about revenge. Like I said in the promo, it was yeah, the title is always the distraction, but overall, it's all about respect and it's all about getting my get back. I want my lit back, and I got it back. So I am very very happy about it, and to know that was able to keep my belt made it even sweeter. So yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that we talked about the last time you were here about the decision you had to make in terms of which title you were going to give up. And we obviously touched upon the scenarios, the world titles, the world title, and then we had the international title, which is obviously still kind of the pecking order championship, the workhorse title, and what that means. And obviously, you made the right call because you're still the champion, but also certainly with Joey being a champion and Joey having his first defense and we talked about that going from the hunter to the hunted, and it's almost kind of the same thing for you, and that's why I think it's important because we're going to certainly put the match up here and talk about some of the different things, but I think it was important for you to walk away with the W here to continue the work that you've put in to get to where you are today as the reigning defending HCW World Heavyweight Champion.
Yes, I totally agree with that, man. It did, it, it just that to continue to put in the work that I have started when I first started, with HCW, and to see the level of growth within my within my competitive nature, and to be able to be crowned a champion and to carry myself very well and to uphold to those standards, that means everything to me at this point. So, like I said in the promo, by any means necessary, by any means necessary, I'm going to retain my World Heavyweight Championship.
Well, you definitely have been putting in the work, and there's no question that the work in some ways is even harder when you are the champion. Because again, I've been talking about this. Joey talked about it last night that you have to make this transition. You definitely did that, and you had to do it nevertheless in a lumberjack match, which I'm almost certain of very few champions defended it. And you obviously had to do that. We'll touch upon it. We'll put the match up here. And were there any jitters going into the match? Obviously, there's been so much made with the establishment. I'm going to get there. I'm going to definitely get there. Obviously, you've been in some other places outside of HCW since we last spoke. Obviously, the decision
Yeah.
you had to make, which was the following week, you were here right around the beginning of June. We had the HCW show about a week and a half later, and you had that decision. But was there any jitters going into what was ahead at Freedom Fight Night?
Honestly, there
Yeah.
weren't any jitters. There was more. There was more of anxious feeling of me just trying to hurry up and get to the day. I was sitting at. I was literally sitting in my house the other day,
Yeah.
But before the show, I was like, "Oh my God, it's literally countdown time!" Like I cannot wait to get my hands on Chris. And whew, man, to like I said, to finally get that lick back, it felt really, really
And we
good.
talked about him on the show last month. You were here.
And,
We
and
talked
and we
about him.
did. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. I literally bragged on this man, gave him his kudos of being a literally a great competitor
Yep.
and a workhorse in the heavyweight championship picture, and I became a target. So it's like, okay, no more Mr. Nice Guy. You want the bad guy. You want the guy that I try to hide away from everyone, and I don't like to go into that dark area, but when I have to, oh man.
Well,
Well,
I'm going to talk about it because it's the second time now that we've went into this dark area, and
yeah.
that's a big topic. I mean, Joey had his opinions on it. Joey's here in the chat, by the way. Spoiler alert, but I don't know what Kip Havoc and Aaron Black had. Yeah, Joey's here in the chat. Yes, Joey's definitely here. He's been complimentary, but there's also Kip Havoc and Aaron Black, which we have no idea what they think. But nevertheless, we'll certainly go with it. But yeah, I mean, before we put the match up, it's interesting because we spoke about Chris Preston. You talked about the kind of competitor he was. You talked about him being a veteran. You talked about him being a guy that's been one of those talents that's been around and guys look to, and yet in his tactics during and after the match, maybe you want to do over on some of those things you said here last month.
Man, honestly, he can keep those words from last month because I showed him totally different this month.
Well,
So it's
if
okay.
it makes you feel any better, somebody was asking me. There was actually somebody. I was at a party yesterday, and somebody asked me. They said, "Oh, you've got over 1,000 videos on your YouTube." I said, "Yeah, I've been doing this a long time." I said 6.5 years, and I said, "Yeah, there's plenty of ones I like a do over on. Plenty of things I could have had a do over on, or maybe taken back. But when you're out there, as you know, in the ring live competing and live here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, there is no redos and there's no can I take that back. No, it's permanent, but we'll certainly I am sure get into some reasons why. But let's put the matchup because it's a long match. It'll talk about some different things. I think that we have to get off our chest here on Sportswire Radio. Before I do that, first of all, I want to give a big plug to Joey because Joey is allowing us to share the content. Well, actually, Joey would have no choice. We'll just share it. But we're playing along because we love Joey. And Joey's back here next month. And guess what? I'm going to announce you coming back here also next month. But I'm going to make everybody wait for the date. But Joey has a YouTube channel. I know he picked up a few subscribers. And let's give him a few more. And I'll say hello to everybody out there, whether it's on different platforms. But that's Joey's page where you can watch a lot of HCW content. You can see him out there with AEW, GCW talents that he was hobnobbing and mingling with. I think he should have, though, invited his establishment brothers with him, though. But I'll leave that when I ask you the big questions in a little while. But there's his content. Check it out. And we're going to get to the match here, champ. And let's do that now because that's what we're here for. So we'll take this off the screen. I'm going to make the hockey line change. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to put this volume up, and there we go. And here we go. I'm actually going to go right to the very beginning. And big crowd here. Fans are chanting lumberjack match. Champ, talk to me about what's going through your mind here right now.
Right now, I'm just waiting for that bell to ring. I am waiting for that bell to ring. Because literally going into this match, honestly, I knew I was going against Chris. I just
Yeah.
didn't know exactly what, if there were going to be any stipulations. And then when he tried to cheap shot me, I'm not playing that. So yeah, we brawled out a little bit, and the CEO and the owner, Mr. Billy Hall, came out and made it a lumberjack match, and there you can only run for so far, and out there in a
You ain't
lumberjack
running
match.
much in a lumberjack
You
match,
ain't
right?
running much. You ain't running
No,
much at
no.
all. Along the only thing you're running is those ropes. So you better get in between them and let's go.
You know what, champ? It reminds me of. It reminds me of. I don't know if you played this when I was a kid growing up. There was a game called Manhunt, and it was basically you'd have to find places to hide. And where I grew up, there really
Yeah.
wasn't many places to hide, so there was a very likely possibility that I was going to run and I couldn't hide. So this is basically like wrestling's version of Manhunt. And you're coming out there. I want to say hello to my friend Angela Pink out there, Miss Angela in Brooklyn. She just shared our link on X, my old friend. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening. I'll get to everybody else. But yeah, definitely. How does that change going into a match with a stipulation like this? For last time we talked about, do you prepare for a match by watching the tape? But in this case here, you already want to go out there. You're fired up because you want to go out and defend this title. You've been waiting to do it here for a month. But now you've got this stipulation where there's a bunch of people here outside, and that's certainly going to change things, I would imagine. So how did that change going into this match for you?
Honestly, it just worked in my favor. You can only run for so far. And literally, as you can see on the screen here, he can only get so far. And then after that, oh, you're mine, buddy. Come on and get you some. And here we go. Wham! Got him.
But you know
Perfect.
what? But you made an interesting point because we talked about Chris on the show last month when you were here. And he's obviously been a guy that's been a veteran. He's a guy that's experienced in the ring. And I would think that him as a veteran, he would have got off to the strong start because he obviously had been out there wanting to win the HCW championship not too long ago, something we spoke about. And yet here we are. You're the one with the hot start. I would think a guy like him would want to get the strong start because that would allow him to control the tempo and give him the upper hand here. What's your thoughts on that?
Honestly, he underestimated me. He thought that, and this is just my opinion. I could be wrong, but from the looks of it, he underestimated me. They always say it's not about the size of the dog; it's the size of the bark and the bite of the dog.
Yeah, but you're
And
the champion. You think that he really underestimated? You're still the guy. You're the
I mean,
HCW
because
World Heavyweight Champion. You really think he
yeah,
underestimated you?
yeah, I mean, some people, think that, this is just a little fluke win. I got lucky, well, I'm not lucky. I will tell you that. I bust my chops just like everyone else, and I'm here to prove that. And that's exactly what I've done so far is I back up my word. I'm a fighting champion, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. And that's fight, defend, and retain this HCW World Heavyweight Championship by any means necessary.
And I'll tell you what, it's a very pretty belt, and that's why we want everybody to support HCW, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and I have a poster for a show coming up here that we'll certainly get into. So there's no question that you got off to a strong start, but you're talking to the referee, and that certainly gave Mr. Preston the opportunity to come back here in this match a little bit.
Yeah, that was my slip up. I was out there having a little bit too much fun, and I told the referee, "Hey, take the night off. Don't worry about it. We're not gonna need much of you tonight because I'm about to manhandle this guy and make him." And of course, that was my mistake because the moment where he was outside
Yeah.
on the outside taking a little breather or a break or whatever I've sent him on. I literally was trying to go for a cover, and well, I messed up on that
Yeah.
opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's how does it with the other everybody outside the ring, right? I know you got the establishment. There's some others out there. I see Kyle Love. I think the DeLunas are out there. I see a bunch of different other people out there, right? So how does that in terms of what you're doing in the ring? Because we just saw right now Mr. Preston on the outside, and he obviously took it a little bit on the chin. But for you, in terms of is that something that's crossing the back of your mind? You go out there and maybe not your establishment brothers, but others out there in the ring are going to be going out and maybe beating you up, and that could maybe help Mr. Preston here get an upper hand in this match at all.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be very humble when I say this, but I welcome all. But I welcome all, but I fear none. So it doesn't matter. I want you. I wish somebody would put their hands on me out there in the middle of that, and hey,
Yeah.
they'll be eating knuckle sandwiches just like Chris was.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. He definitely ate the knuckle sandwich. That's for sure.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, that's I could certainly see that. But obviously, big crowd. Crowd is chanting. You've got your establishment brothers chanting and cheering you on. What was the factor of the crowd here in a match like this?
Honestly,
Yeah.
the crowd played a major portion in the energy throughout the whole entire matchup. I always tell the fans this, and this is every show, whether it's 200, whether it's 50, it does not matter. I thrive off the energy that you guys give me, and that's what makes me feel overall overall great about the matchups that I'm involved in for sure.
Yeah.
I feed off of them. They give me everything. Even through my curtain, when I come through the curtain for my entrance, it's the same exact thing. The same exact thing. I once I feel that energy, I know what time it is. They know what time it is. The real deal Eclipse is about to go off, and he's about to do his thing.
Absolutely. One of the things I love, I've been doing this for 6.5 years, as I stated a few minutes ago. I've been doing wrestling in the independents for almost 5 years now. And one of the things I always love is talking to wrestlers from all over the world. And we've been very fortunate here on Sportswire to have been that platform, to be that place where all wrestling matters. Is I love talking to wrestlers and asking them about the crowd, especially a crowd like this one, which was a fun crowd. It was a hot crowd, and you could tell that the crowd definitely was electric here. You could tell, and you were also waiting for Mr. Preston to do something, which he does do something later on in the match for the outside. But yeah, I think it's always important to feed off the crowd, and that adrenaline definitely helps you, especially if you are the champion. You kind of had that almost home field advantage, and the match has almost kind of got to a standstill here a little bit. It's almost kind of slowed down a bit. Did you kind of feel the same way here this last minute and a half here, that the match kind of slowed a bit?
Yeah, he when he got advantage and took advantage of me of the small slip up that I made. Like I said, he's a veteran, and
Yeah.
he did what he was supposed to do. He capitalized on the small mistakes that I made, and of course, I took my off the ball, and he took advantage, and as you can see, I've been thrown to the outside and thrown off my game. So he completely slowed
But you've
down my
avoided,
momentum.
going, so far through the first quarter or so of the match, champ. You avoided that. You really weren't in the outside very much. It was Mr. Preston that was dealing with that. Now you had your turn at it, so you kind of, in a way, maybe without doing it, you kind of tactically avoided some of that outside interference. You avoided that, and that maybe helped you in the first part of the match. That was the first time we truly saw you outside there a bit.
Yes, definitely. I mean, like I said, no pun intended to any other guys that's on the outside, but the only guys that I trust are my establishment brothers. So going into the outside with, I guess there were like 15 guys on the
Yeah.
outside, versus my other three that's on the outside, we're way outnumbered. So I think it was well smart in my nature to stay inside for sure, at least attempt to anyway.
Yeah, you're gonna try to attempt to. This was definitely
And plus, I have a target on my back. I mean, I am the world heavyweight champion. So I mean, you never know who's looking. You never know what kind of opportunity they're looking at as far as to get their hands on me.
Oh,
So
listen. No, you're absolutely right.
right.
You are the guy. You are the world champion. Everybody wants to knock the world champion off the block. Everybody wants to be able to go out there, because, again, at the end of the day, outside of your establishment brothers, you got no allies in HCW. You got no friends. Everybody's looking at you, and they want to have the spot that you have right now. I mean, you're one of the first trainees of the HCW Academy, and you are the champion on top of that. So everybody, for you, listen, you got a bullseye on your back. You know that. You've been in this
Yes.
now a little while, and that's kind
Yes.
of how it goes. And right now, though, you are definitely feeling it a bit. You are definitely taking it on the chin a little bit. Everybody is kind of standing around, and we see the referee breaking things up. But Mr. Preston's the beneficiary of all of that, because Mr. Preston is right now working like a veteran. He's now got the tempo he's wanted. He's got the pace, and right now he's got the upper hand.
Yes, he took advantage. I mean, I had a lot going on, getting thrown to the outside against the Omega guys that's over there. Of course, I have some unspoken beef with those guys. just because of the establishment, being tag champions and everything. And then, of course, you got the Heartbreakers, who we literally just took the titles from. They're on the outside.
Yeah, Joey
Um,
talked about them terribly with Mr. Love. We talked a lot about them yesterday.
yes, and then of course, by all means, can't leave out Carnage. They are on the
Oh,
outside,
don't
and
you worry. We're gonna be talking about them
yeah,
plenty. Don't you worry.
yeah. Yeah, they kind of had my mind kind of contorted a little bit because when I got
Mm.
thrown out, um, they tried to give me a bottle of water, and I was like,
Oh,
that's really weird. But
a bowl of water.
yeah, they tried to give me a bottle of water, like
Oh,
because I mean I got thrown out, and I guess they think that I
oh,
was gassed or something. So I'm like, no, I don't want your water. Quit touching me.
yeah.
I don't like you guys. Like y'all are playing mind games with me, and I'm literally trying to get off in this ring and continue to win my heavyweight champ. Well, can
Well,
retain my heavyweight
well, you
championship.
are doing a bang up job, and you hit a hell of a suplex there. That was a hell of a suplex you just hit there, and we'll get to
Thank you.
everybody in the chat after the match. And yeah, definitely. I guess maybe you did need a bottle of water in a match like this, as long as it was. I mean, definitely. Are you trying to pace yourself here? The longer this match goes.
Honestly, I'm trying to really take advantage of what I can because I see how he's working. He's a technical guy.
Yep, we spoke about
Without
this
with
last month. Yep.
Yes, yeah, he's a technical powerhouse. So it's one of those things that I had to prepare myself for. He's different. Where like I said, he'll pick you apart and he'll slow down the tempo just to make sure that he has you where he wants you. And
Mm,
me personally, I like to go. I mean, you want to
yeah.
go in this ring, hey, we're finna go at it, and that's just where I am. But of course, Chris has his, has his perks, and I got mine as well.
Well, right. He's gonna certainly want to have a different tempo. You're gonna want to go. You're gonna want to be fast paced. I mean, everybody's looking at baseball right now with the Midsummer Classic, and everybody wants to go long. They want the long ball. They want to lead the game off, and they want to be flashy. You're kind of in that vein, but Mr. Preston, he's gonna want to. For football fans, because football is coming up soon, he wants to ground and pound. He wants to slow the tempo down. He wants to control the time. He wants to be out there and just grind you and wear you down. But right now, you are outside. You are definitely being grinded down. And this was probably, admittedly speaking, probably my favorite part of the match here because Mr. Preston is about to go long. And yeah, he definitely went long and he definitely went deep. That was definitely a home run. And he went long. And he's fighting almost everybody out there. That was probably my favorite move of the match, I must say.
And to be honest, as a former heavyweight champion, and Chris, he knew exactly what to do in a
Yeah.
situation where he knew he had me vulnerable and down. And of course, hey, he's like, you know what? I'm finna mess his head up. And I mean, I never saw the dive coming. I never saw it
You
coming.
didn't see it coming. Wow. Okay. So
No,
you,
I didn't. I mean, I'm thinking that he's gonna, let me get back into the ring, and then he's gonna continue to beat me down.
yeah.
Well, he actually like dove out there and came and
He
got
kind, yeah, he
me.
kind of like he didn't go full, full launch like Rey Mysterio or Jeff Hardy in his heyday, but he kind of started, stopped, and then went again. So yeah, I mean, I guess I,
Right.
I gave it, but that's the veteran in him. The veteran tactic would be exactly that. He knew the
Yes.
way to get you. He knew to catch you off your guard, and that's exactly what he did.
Yes, most definitely. That is exactly what he did. And of course, with him being, like I said, with him being the vet, he did his part. He did his
Yeah.
job. But of course, just
But
wasn't
you did your
enough.
body shots. Your body shots. I could feel them there right now. Listen,
Oh
Pacquiao's
man.
got nothing on you. Klitschko's got nothing on you. I mean, Deontay Wilder's got nothing on you because those shots definitely, I could feel them from here. And you've gotten back up, and you are now like a house of fire. And you are certainly looking to combat what he's done so far. And it seems like now you got him right where you want him. You got the DDT. You're gonna try to get him up here for a cover, but I think you still got a little bit ways to go to get him up. But we are here with the real deal Eclipse. He is the reigning defending HCW World Heavyweight Champion. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. We are talking all things related to Haybarn Championship Wrestling. If you're here on all of our social media platforms, please go out there and follow HCW. Haybarn Championship Wrestling is on Instagram, Facebook. They're on YouTube. They have a show here coming up on August the 9th. It is called Recess Rumble. I will have the poster up for that. We'll be talking about that throughout the next hour or so. And we are here with the real deal Eclipse. So you hit an impressive drop kick. You definitely tried another pin, but Mr. Preston is not going to go out that easily.
Yeah, definitely had to pull one out of my arsenal. I tried to keep that, kind of ducked off to the side, but I was like, you know what? Maybe I might be able to do this one and try to see if it will suffice just a little bit, because he's never seen me do it, and of course the fans have never seen me do it either. So that was the first time for everything. So it's
Well,
crazy. I had to
you
pull
said
one
something
out.
interesting. I wasn't even going to ask you, but I almost got to ask you if he hasn't seen it. The fans haven't seen it. Did that almost say, hey, I don't even know if I can hit it? Did that make you think that at all for a second?
Honestly, I'm gonna toot my own horn here. Never say never.
That's
I can
James
do all.
Taylor, who Joey
Yeah,
knows, would always say the same
yes.
line, never say
and
never.
and and on top of that, I look at my scripture. I'm a very religious man,
Yes.
and of course, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, and
Well,
that is exactly how I feel. I can do all things, and
amen.
and
I'm a
of course,
reverend,
if I
so
yeah, if I can hit you with a suplex, hey, why can't I hit you with a drop kick? So.
good point. Touche. Listen, you're the champion, and I would expect nothing less. But Mr. Preston has been given a little bit of time to catch his energy, and now he's trying to go really up top here in the high rent district. And you caught him. You had just enough time to be able to get on your feet, and you definitely were able to do that there. And you're trying for yet another cover, but something tells me that that's not going to be the end of the match. But no question, very back and forth seesaw battle. Now it almost feels like now this is a seesaw battle. This is a battle between two warriors, between two men competing for the richest prize in Arkansas, for one of the richest prizes in our sport, the HCW Championship. And right now it feels like this is just a seesaw Donnybrook battle.
Yeah, we were going back and forth all night. Like we said at first. I started off hot, then he took over, and then it was been back and forth ever since. And it literally was back and forth. Just when I thought I had him, he had my number. Just when he thought he had me, I had his number. So it was a lot of back and forth for sure. Something that I kind of expected out of him, just a little bit.
Yeah.
But of course, me personally, I was looking at just to go out there and throw hands and beat him down. And
Well,
hey,
you were
this
throwing
is
a
what
lot
it
of
was.
hands, and when now we see the lumberjacks getting a little bit more involved, and that's always the most interesting thing in these matches, and the
Yes.
lumberjacks getting involved and how they get involved, and it's been very back and forth with that. Were you paying attention at all to the lumberjacks at any point during the match?
There were a few spots that I will say, or where I looked at them, but I really wasn't focused on them because I'm still laser focused on
Hmm.
Chris. I can't. I know that I can't do too much to take my eyes off the ball, because if I do,
Yeah.
then hey, I won't be sitting here world heavyweight champion right now.
No, no, that's a good point, and sometimes people get distracted by different things, and especially in a match like this where it's again there's so few lumberjack matches, but right now it's two men battling toward the end of the match, battling for truly one of the richest prizes in our sport, and you are now talking with the lumberjacks. You are now looking to do your own move from the high rent district, and you are certainly ready to launch. And we are certainly ready to see if you go yard, but not quite. You kind of had the reverse with Mr. Preston. You gave him enough time, and he was able to certainly get a chance to get back in the match. And you're feeling it there. You could definitely it looks like you're holding your leg there. I think at some point we couldn't see it quite from the angle, but you were definitely in a little pain there for a minute.
Yeah, I hit my forearm, man. I went down and I was going to put an elbow in him, and then of course, when I seen he moved, I my
Yeah.
forearm hit the mat, and that's where I was like, oh my god, it hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
so I felt it all in my from my forearm to the tip of my elbow. I felt it. And I hate that I missed him because I was trying to put that point of my elbow in his heart. Oh, I was.
Well, you know what? I wish you would have did it too because that definitely hurts. That surface definitely hurts. My friend is a pro wrestler, Chris Urban, like you, and I know that Matt. It's definitely a lot harder than it looks underneath. Trust me on that. If you don't know in the chat, but
Oh yeah.
obviously, yeah, it's gonna hurt. But you're here right now. You're the champion. But this is definitely a match where I mean, at this point it's such a back and forth. It almost feels like right now it's anybody's game. Any slip up here, and this match tilts one way or the other. Did you feel the same way here at this point where we are in the
Yeah.
match?
Oh yes, definitely did. That I knew the tide changed once I missed that elbow. I said, "Oh, this is it."
Yeah.
Man, man, you got to get up, man. You got to get up. You got to fight back. You got to. And of course, I'm trying to stay into it. I'm trying to go for something else, and here comes a cheap shot. Bam.
And yeah, and after he gave an unveteran like move by talking with the referee, he definitely showed that was a dirty move. But in some ways, he's a veteran. He wants this. And like I said, maybe you wanted to take back some of the words you had earlier last month on Sportswire about Mr. Preston. But again, we can't take those words back. But
Yeah.
it's at all cost. And now it's going to get interesting. Now, I see an object. That's your property, sir. And he's looking at it. He's looking at that championship belt. No, he's not looking to give it to you. He's looking to use it against you so he can keep that championship belt. And I could see some of your establishment brethren. I think I see Kip Havoc trying to fight. I see Kyle Love out there kind of mouthing off, and Mr. Preston is waiting for you to get up. I see Aaron Black. Aaron Black is trying to cheer you on. Joey's out there. And right now, I mean, you are just in a world of hurt. Mr. Preston's waiting. Mr. Preston's waiting. But you've gotten back up. You've gotten back up. And somehow the real deal Eclipse, you clipped him. You literally clipped him. And now Mr. Preston is, yeah, I could certainly see why he's covering his face. And you're motioning. You're motioning there. You're looking. You're looking. And wait a minute. You've got that championship belt. But it seems like you are kind of figuring out you're figuring out what do you do? What does the real deal Eclipse do? What do you do? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the real deal Eclipse is looking and you've got that belt and no! No! The real deal Eclipse just used his own belt and it's all she wrote because the real deal Eclipse has won and retained the HCW Heavyweight Championship. But my friend, you used that belt. Why? Why did you use it?
There are two reasons. One, I just I just had enough. I've been through enough as is.
And
Um,
wait a minute before you answer the second part. I mean, this has gotten even more interesting because Carnage is coming in and they're motioning to the championship belt with you, and you took the belt from them. You took the belt from Carnage. The real deal Eclipse. What's going on here? First, you use the championship belt on Chris Preston, and now you accept the belt and you bow down? The real deal Eclipse. I mean, what is going on?
Man, Tom, it's the mind games are real. I will tell you that. Um, I I've done everything in my power to let my guys know I'm not working with them. I and it's just crazy how everything is coming out, and it's like it's making it seem like that I have everything to do with what's going on, and I really don't. I don't have a clue, why they're doing this, but this is what Carnage is made of. If Carnage is what we want, then Carnage is what we're getting, and that's what they're giving us. They're giving us pure Carnage,
But you go
and
now, but here's where it gets even more fascinating because you're speaking, and everything certainly turned into another Donnybrook after Carnage came out. We saw all the lumberjacks come out, and then you're talking, you're thanking the crowd, which is great. Obviously, your establishment brothers are cheering, and I don't blame them. And you're talking, and then wait a minute. That's the man you just hit that HCW championship with. That man you just pinned, Chris Preston. And not only did he low blow you now, sir, but he's about to give you a pile driver and let's just say a pile driver for days. For days. And you are certainly in a world of hurt. And thankfully, thank God, your establishment brothers came out. But boy, I mean, there was so much there with so little to say. And I mean, just did you deserve? Did you deserve that low blow? Did you deserve that power driver from Chris Preston?
honestly, no, I don't believe that I deserved it, but now after being in the ring with him and seeing what type of tactics he uses, I kind of expected it, for him to do something like that. I would have been shocked to have seen him just let me get out of there, untouched, because this wasn't caught after the last show, but after as the fans were leaving and I was heading to my locker room, he savagely attacked me, which led to me coming out and, at the beginning of the show and asking him, to come on out there and give me an explanation and, explain to me, what's going on and why. Why did you savagely attack me when I'm just a heavyweight champion, man? I mean, if you want to fight, all you gotta do is ask. I'll give you a fight. But of course, people like to do things their way, So I've taken that into into high regard, and I just let bygones be bygones. And I said, fine, and we'll settle in the ring tonight. And that's exactly what we did.
Oh, you did that, but there's just so many questions, so many different things that went on, and I mean, I don't even know where to begin, and we're gonna get to everybody here, and we'll come back to this and we'll come back to some other things. But if you are here, as I said, hit the sub button for Joey Knight Jr.'s page where you can see more HCW content, more establishment content. I want to say hello to my friend Abby out there, the lovely Abby. Hope you're doing well. Hope that you are joining us tonight and hope that your evening was well. And I also hope that everyone is here and they have subbed to Joey's page. And I also now want to get to the chat. So I want to get to some people here. We'll come back to everybody, including the beautiful Abby. And speaking to people that are here, Zilla is in the chat. Zilla is first. And she says, hello. Thank you, Zilla, for being here. And you've got some company, and we want to say hello. Definitely hello. And can you all say hello to the chat? Hello, how are you? How are we doing? So I think
That's
that's
my
a good
daughter.
well, how you
That's my
doing there? I
daughter.
hope your daughter's enjoying the show, and it's not a school night, so I think she can stay up because it's the summer
Yes.
school. Yeah, we know that. Yeah, because it's she can stay up tonight. Well, it's not too late tonight. That's the good news. But thank you very
Yeah.
much for tuning in here. And yes, definitely, we are here with the real deal Eclipse. He is the HCW champion. We appreciate that. Joey is here now. Joey, obviously, he's got confidence in you still. Joey feels like everything is good with you and him. He feels like you are still the Eclipse he knows. You are still his brother. But I have to ask you, though, with Aaron Black and Kip Havoc, I have no idea what's going on through these guys' heads, and we know kind of their own checkered past with the establishment. What do you think is going through the head right now of Kip Havoc
um,
and Aaron Black?
I've actually talked to Aaron,
Okay.
me and Aaron, outside of Joey as well. I've talked to Joey, I talked to Aaron, and they understand that this has just been a lot of mind games, trickeries of the trade of what Carnage likes to do. Not only just the Carnage situation, but they understand that I was put in a difficult situation and having to um, do by any means necessary, retain my championship. And they understood that. Same thing with Kip. I talked to Kip just earlier today.
Okay.
He was the last one that I talked to.
Okay.
And he's the one that told me, he said, man, he said, after pretty much after what him and Chris Preston and Dax Xander, which is Chris Preston's little running mate from the Mayhem Mafia, after what they did to us, they deserved it, an eye for an eye in this situation. So it's exactly what happened. And like I said, they understand. And that's one thing. Tom, I told you at the last one, when we had our interview, that
That's one. Yeah, yeah.
everything's good. Everything's going to be good in the establishment.
I mean, I want it
Every,
to be good for you guys. I mean, listen,
yes.
I don't want to be in the business of, tension and division. And, my brother used to have a band once upon a time called Friction Division. I don't want to see you guys have this friction division, but it seems like it's just, I mean, Joey, to be fair, said he had not spoken to Aaron and Kip, or he spoke to Aaron, but he had not spoke to Kip, but he didn't want to speak on Aaron's behalf. So we really didn't know where this was, but it's back-to-back shows with you and Carnage. Then we see the thing there with Carnage and the belt. Then you certainly bow down. Then we have this whole thing with Chris Preston, what he does to you after the match. So there's so much there. There's this. It's almost, as I said last night on the show, you guys can't get out of your own way. That it's always something with you guys, even in victory. You're successful, Joey's successful, but yet the questions continue to remain.
Yeah, they definitely continue to remain to come in, and it's mostly because of you know some people believe us and some people don't believe us. I'm not working with Carnage. If I was,
But you accepted the belt with them. They gave you the belts. And then you bowed down. What was so? If you're not working with them, what was your reasons why you took that and did that?
have you ever thought about reverse psychology?
I took psychology in college. Yes, there is some of that. I give touche.
So
I understand.
so I will tell you this. I'm the type that if you want to dance with the devil, sometimes you got to just to endure your own personal hell. And
Okay.
that's where I'm at right now. I'm having to endure my own personal hell by dancing with the devil, which happens to be Carnage.
Oh, they
So if
definitely
that,
are the devil. Yeah, they're the devil.
yeah,
They are
I
the
mean,
devil.
they're definitely taking us down through there, man. I'm working. And I didn't want to tell it, as far as like, me and as far as my trick of what I got as far as my mind games. But like,
Yeah.
I kind of take this back to reference when Shawn Michaels versus Mick Foley at In Your House, I think was 96.
Yes. Yes.
And it was the Mind Games, that was the name of the show, Mind Games.
Yes.
Mick Foley played mind games, and like Sean said, okay, well, you want to play mind games, and with me, I'm playing back with you, and that's
Good
exactly what he
point.
did, and actually, it worked in his favor. So I kind of follow Bill Gates, piggyback off of that for sure. In this
Okay, fair
instance,
play, but I want to remind you of something that happened outside of HEW. We'll get to everybody here in the chat because, yeah, everything's okay. You're saying everything's okay, and you spoke to Kip, Aaron, yada, yada, yada. But what happens here? Now, you guys obviously had a show, a non HCW show, and Joey wasn't there, but you, Aaron, and Kip were a part of this, and we see an entrance, which we want to give a big plug to Joey, but also our friends over at Fearless Films for putting this together. And Fearless Films just followed me on Instagram, which is great because I'm almost to 2,000 followers with that. So thank you very much for that. And we'll get back to you after that. But, we're waiting for this entrance. And I mean, it's Kip, Joey, you, And it just, you guys aren't coming out together. You guys, though, what's up with that? You guys, I mean, I'm just curious here in this entrance. I would have thought all four of you together, everybody's in lockstep unity. And I mean, I know Joey wasn't in action here, but I'm really just trying to figure out here. The four of you should have come out together, and yet there's no Aaron. You didn't come out with Kip and Joey, and you guys didn't even walk out together coming into the ring. I mean, can you explain what exactly did we just say?
So prior to us having this matchup, Aaron and Mr. Matthew De Luna had already had a matchup, and Matthew kind of roughed up Mr. Aaron, so he wasn't able to come out there with us. But as far as the entrance, so prior to that, prior to the show starting off, the four of us got into a disagreement that led to really being on screen, and it was all about trust. You know, they were questioning me. You know, well, how can we trust you? You know, how can we trust you? You know, how do we not? How do we know you're not working with Carnage? You know, and it's all of the mind games. So, like I told them, you got to trust me, guys. I mean, why would I purposely try to destroy something that I created? That's just, I mean, just being
Because
honest.
you had to listen, because you're the world champion, you want to stay on top. And also, we know how the establishment took those tag team championships through the help of, well, Carnage. And that certainly benefits your personal bottom line. So there is that point. Sure, you could be saying that, but we know in wrestling it's a dog eat dog business. You're the guy on top, and by any means necessary.
Yeah, by any means necessary is correct. But again, I wouldn't do that to my brothers. When I was at my most vulnerable state, when it comes down to it, they were there. I didn't have no one else. I looked to my right and I had Joey Knight. I looked to my left, I had Kip Havoc. I looked right behind me and I had Aaron Black. And those guys have been my pillars. They've been my strength. So, yeah, we have our issues. Yeah, we have our disagreements, but that's what family does. We have these disagreements, but when it all boils down to it and it comes down to the all in a nutshell, we will come together and you see what we do. We
You
win.
got that title. Joey's got the hardcore title. Kip has the tag team championship, and then we don't know who has the other half. I suppose you could claim it. Aaron could claim it. I mean, so you've
Freebird
all.
rule it if you want to. I mean, be honest with you. I mean, we're faction. I mean, everybody's now coming up with they're coming up with tag titles and six
Yeah,
man and 8-man titles
yeah.
now. So
New
guess
Day,
what?
hell,
Hey,
AEW. Yeah.
right. So I mean, at this point, hey, it's a Freebird rule. Kip, whoever you feel like you want to tag up with that night, just know we got
Has
our
that something
respect.
you've asked Kip about, Buzz? Have you asked Kip about who he considers to be the tag team champion? And I mean, is that something that you've and I guess Mr. Eclipse, maybe hopefully Carnage hasn't come out and intercepted his Wi-Fi there. We certainly hope that's not the case. But if you are out here, thank you very much for tuning in. There you go. Champ, has Carnage tried to intercept? As wait a minute, maybe Carnage is coming on here. Could Carnage be coming on to Sportswire and maybe, just maybe, sending a message that the real deal Eclipse, Joey Knight Jr., Aaron Black, and Kip Havoc, they've got trouble coming up here. They've got trouble coming up at the Recess Rumble. Could this be what it is? The establishment win? Will things ever be A-okay? Well, ladies and gentlemen, if the real deal Eclipse has got these issues with his internet and these issues with answering questions, maybe that answer is it'll never be A-okay. Things will never be A-okay with the establishment, and it's only a matter of time. Sure, they've got the gold, but at what cost? At cost could be that this faction could be going, well, let's just say, like every other faction, whether it's been Evolution, whether it's been D-Generation X, whether it's been the New World Order, whether it's been whatever you want to call the bloodline, and maybe, just maybe, this is what's happening. This is what is happening. You've got to see, hopefully, the real deal Eclipse can join us shortly and come back on here. We really hope, and pray that he comes back, because maybe, just maybe, this is a message from the real deal Eclipse and his camp establishment from Carnage that, well, you know what? This could very well be trouble. This could be trouble, and I have received word that the real deal Eclipse is trying to get back on. We have sent him back the link, so we will hope that he comes back on, because he's trying to send us a message, and hopefully we will get him back on, because we certainly want to see him. Let's come back to the rest of the chat, and hopefully he joins us here shortly. Hello to Joey Knight Jr. Yes, we are fans of the establishment. Absolutely. Hit the sub button for Joey. Definitely connect him. And we see he's coming back. Now, was Carnage trying to come in? Was Carnage trying to send you a message? Was Carnage trying to say that the establishment and your days are being numbered, or what?
I don't know. It was just weird by coincidence. My phone literally just shut off out of nowhere. So I don't know. Maybe they are tampering with my phone line. I
Well,
don't
you
know.
know what? I've seen this happen before. I've been doing this a long time. I have seen segments where this has happened, and hopefully my friend Abby's out there watching it, but let me know. But hopefully no one's tampering with our lines here. But obviously there is someone proud of you other than the establishment, and we definitely love that you are tuned in, and you'll love what I'm going to give you here in a few minutes. So enough with the peppering. I will give you something that'll hopefully keep things calm, cool, and collected for the next 25 minutes or so. Zach Smith wouldn't miss this one, because he was the one. He's still chanting Eclipse. I mean, he's right now still chanting Eclipse. He was chanting it all Saturday, and he'll be
Yes.
chanting it until August 9th.
And to be honest, I mean, I tell everyone this. Yeah, my number one fans are my family, my wife, my kids. But when it comes down to outside of my family, oh, Zach Smith is my number one
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
And well, it's
Zach
a
Smith
tie.
might want to be in the family, though. Zach Smith
Yeah,
might want
yeah,
it.
it's definitely it's a tie there because it's him. There's a fan, a kid by the name of Hunter.
Oh,
He is
yes.
my yes. Those are my two. I will tell you, I love them. Zach has messaged Boss Man Jones once upon a time
I'm going to get
before.
to Boss Man Jones. I'm going to get to him
Yeah,
in a few minutes. I
and
still have him on my litany.
yeah, and when he messaged him on the establishment page, because Boss Man Jones runs our establishment page, and he was asking him. He was like, "Hey, are we the bad guys? Like what's going on with here? Are we going to be together? Like what's up?" And Boss Man Jones pretty much told him, "Listen, Eclipse is not working with Carnage. We're not the bad guys. Just hold your horses, man. We're never going to do that to you. We're here to
Mm.
stay. We are here to stay. We are the establishment, and we are here to stay."
I hope so, for your sake and the rest of the guys' sake, because certainly it's been a bumpy road here, despite the fact that you have these championships, and yet there's still more questions that linger. So I hope that for Zach Smith's sake, I hope for the rest of the group, and certainly the HCW's sake here, that you guys stay together here. I'm reminded about that commercial. Let's stay
Because I,
together and be all right.
right.
But let's stay together here in the chat, and go follow the Real Deal Eclipse for me on Instagram. He needs more followers. I want to get him to 100 followers. He's 9 away. So hit the follow button for him, and we'll come back. We got some more comments. I want to get to them. I got a lot
I
of people
do.
here.
I do want to pick up where I left off before Carnage decided to tamper with my phone here. Um, I did talk to Kip, about the Freebird rule or
Yes.
whatever.
Okay.
However, the main reason why Kip Havoc is walking around with these two titles, I want to clarify the smoke
Okay.
there with that.
Good point.
Uh, Kip Havoc busted his chops in April and came back
Yeah.
3-1.
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, he was kind of hesitant to choose on which title he wanted to go with. And Joey and Aaron spoke up for him in their situations. So when we won the tag titles, I told Kip, I said, listen, this means more to you than it does me, okay? I want you to get the first taste of gold. And Kip and I literally took that into consideration after the fact we kind of smoothed things out. But of course, because I held up the tag belts with them, trying to celebrate after at the last show, and he wasn't too thrilled with that. He kind of grabbed the belts and walked out because he started thinking back like I'm working with Carnage here, but not working with Carnage here, guys.
All right, well, you keep saying it, but I want to let you know that they have arrived and Carnage is here. They're here. They're here.
God, I
They're
can't
here.
run away from
You,
nothing.
you are definitely not running away from it, sir. You are not running away from it, champ, because Carnage has arrived and they are certainly watching with eager anticipation and suspense for you to talk minute after minute here on Sportswire.
Just when you think the getting away is getting good, it just gets a little bit worse. Like, gosh. All right.
Well, yeah, that's what you've definitely felt, and it's almost like we thought LeBron was going to play another season in Los Angeles, and it seems like he's not. And you're dealing with, yeah, I said that, not you, but well, now you
Yeah,
got to
because I'm
deal
a
with it.
LeBron fan, so I'm not going to
Yeah,
speak
I
on it.
kind of
Yeah.
as crazy as it sounds, I kind of want to see him go back to Cleveland one more time. I have no idea why. I don't know why, but I think that would be really like fascinating the
My
third
my
time.
honest opinion is I'm a huge Dallas Mavericks fan,
Yeah,
so and I just feel like he'll
you
be
guys got the
back. I
number
feel
one
like he'll
pick.
be
I
a
mean, you got
Maverick.
the number one pick right now. I mean, with
Yeah.
the players you
I
got.
feel like I feel like he'll wind up either there or he'll wind up in Boston. So
Yeah, Boston because Tatum's out for the whole season, so that would make
yeah.
sense. They replace
Tatum's out
him.
for the whole season. They just traded Porzingis.
Yeah.
They just got rid of Drew Holiday. So I mean, it's so much opportunity right there for
And
him,
the
honestly.
irony of that is LeBron going again against the Knicks because he famously took his talents to South Beach all those years ago when the Knicks tried so hard. And then the irony of him in Boston, I think, would just be such an interesting thing. I'm not a Knicks fan for the world out there to know, but even though I'm in New York. But hello, I want to say hello to the hall monitor of Sportswire Radio, Mr. Justin Parsley. He has a YouTube channel which he is building up. I want to give him a little plug. We got a bunch of people here in the chat. He is trying his hand again at podcasting, but a lot more graphic than what we do here on Sportswire. We're a lot more family friendly here. Mr. Parsley is obviously really going a different route, but if you are here, I got a bunch of people on YouTube. Go give him a sub. He is our friend. He's our dear friend. And although we can't appear on his channel with some of the content he said a few days ago, but if he does want to watch some old matches, I can do that with him. But in the meantime, give him a sub. He is also one half of the IMF Tag Team Champions. He is the King of Palo winner. And for a year, he was the PWF champion, which we're on the PWF YouTube page right now. So hello to the Hall Monitor. And if you're here, do me a favor. Go hit the sub button for him. And you can watch his show on Saturday. It's called The Circle of Jerks. And you can find out why we're a family-friendly show. And we'll get back to the chat here. But thank you, Mr. Parsley. And hit the sub button for him. We'll come back here. Want to say hello to my buddy, Mr. Casey Jack Bradley, who is up at 3:23 in the morning in the UK. I haven't seen this fellow in ages. He would like to say hello. Yeah, I'm doing good. How about you? It's been a minute and haven't seen you wrestle recently, but hello. Hello to Justin. Hello to Casey. I want to say hello to the legendary Doc Holliday. Doc, I saw, was almost at a maybe a sort of a wedding celebration this past weekend for our friends at NEW. Want to congratulate Mr. Jake Dvorak, the All Wrestling Matters hardcore champion, the NEW Northeast champion, on a marriage. He is now married, so congratulations. God bless, and definitely may happiness be with you and your other half forever. And thank you for all you do. And the real deal is tough as steel, the full moon eclipse. All awesome to meet you. So he's in your corner. One UK wrestler's in your corner. So the good news is you've got one country in your corner. And
That's amazing. Thank you. I
and I
appreciate
think
that.
he caught the Batman reference. Yeah, Superman's out, but you did the Batman reference, which I actually want to see Superman either tomorrow or Thursday. So if you're in the chat, if you've seen the movie without seeing it or without telling me what happened, let me know what you think. And speaking of people who are definitely not in your corner, J.R. Wind, who I heard, by the way, may be showing up on August 9th, and he wants to call your family a bunch of backstabbers.
To be honest, I hope he does show up
You
with
do?
this little tribe of
Tribal Nation, yeah.
miscreants.
Yeah, Tribal
Yeah, I
Nation.
would love for him to pull up with Tribal Nation because honestly, hey, like Joey said, and he keeps reminding me this every time we talk. It has been almost a year to the
I
day,
know. Yes, we talked about it last night on the show.
and
Yeah.
we are approaching that. So if they want to show up, Show up. We'll send you packing, and you'll be gone for another year messing around with us because now we are much more powerful than what we were back almost a year ago.
Well, you
Trust
guys
me.
have a lot of championship belts, and you have the richest prize in HCW. And J.R.
Yeah.
Wind looks to return August 9th. And
Can't
you
wait.
didn't know what the
Hope he
Freebird
does.
rule was until it benefited you.
Oh God, listen, I'm a wrestling fanatic, so I know what the Freebird rule is. Okay, Jr. Quit trying to test my intelligence here. Jeez, gosh, you're
And
funny,
he
man.
also he didn't believe you. He said you really ran away, and Carnage said it was a cover up. Carnage is saying here this was a cover up.
Oh
Boy, you're
gosh.
really feeling the heat tonight,
Man,
Mister.
dude, this is why I take pain, not painkiller, but sleeping pills, so I can go to sleep at night. Because this stuff keeps me up, man.
You know,
Like,
there are people. I didn't know that was a thing until the
gosh,
last several months, and people did it. I was just one of these people, and not that I sleep much. Mister Parsley said to me the other day. He said, because he's known me well. He said, do you sleep? I said, a couple minutes here, a couple minutes there, a couple. Although today it's been so hot in New York, I like took a nap for like an hour, and I like slept on my shoulder, and it was like I had nothing in me. But yeah, there's no question. You might need another sleeping pill after tonight's episode because Carnage is
God,
saying that you've covered
I
this up.
just feel like the birth of my baby girl that when she's getting ready to be born, you go through the processes of being sleepy and tired all the time. I wish she would hit me as soon as this interview is over, so I can just go to sleep because
Well,
I
I'm sure
need a
you will
good
go to sleep
sleep.
after this interview. I have no doubt. But I still got something for you, and it's not
Yeah,
Carnage number one.
of course, but
I
yeah,
still got
man,
something for
Carnage,
you.
man, Carnage, that Willy Foo Foo
You
stuff,
got a
man,
lot of
don't worry about
comments
that.
here now. All of a sudden, Carnage is a loser group. Don't make sense for them to have Eclipse and have a fan like Zach Smith. Yeah, I don't think Zach Smith's joining the Carnage either. I don't think
I
that. I don't
mean,
think.
well, I mean, and I hate saying this, but Zach,
Yeah.
I love you. Zach, I really do. I hope you're watching this. I love you,
Oh, he'll be
but
watching it.
I definitely feel like that you like all the factions at HCW because you love wrestling. So I
Mm.
understand. So you may have your factors of, loving the establishment, but I feel like that you low key have love for Carnage. You have love for Tribal Nation and
Mayhem
anything
Mafia.
in
Yeah.
Mayhem Mafia for at some point. I mean, just because you're a fan of wrestling, because Zach is a fan of wrestling. So
No, no,
I,
we are
yeah, so
too. We
definitely
we we
understand.
love wrestling, and we
Yeah.
do, but I understand the point.
Yes.
In that match, how many Carnage moves did you use?
Okay. So since they want to bring that up, yes, I purposely used those moves that they used in that night. You want to know why?
Why?
Again, mind games. Two, not only that, I'm picking at the scab here, okay? Let's just be real. If you do the move sets in that match and use it to your advantage, why not? It's been done to you and it's been successful for them, so why not use it in the matchup? It was successful for me. For instance, Mr. SWA Bad Guy. He actually did a DDT in a matchup in one of the matches. And when he did it, because I
You did
think
one as well in
yeah, and
earlier
I
in the
did
match.
one to Chris Preston exactly. The leg drop. Bishop did his little infamous leg
Yeah,
drop, double rope leg drop. Okay, I did it too, but I couldn't run to the other side, so I stopped. I taunted them by telling them the famous two words made famous by D Generation X,
I did
and
see
then
that. No, I saw that, but that would also lead to some people thinking that's why you accepted the belt from them, and then you bowed down almost.
I mean, hey, people are gonna people have their own opinions. I will
That they
say
certainly
that.
do. I mean, what was
And
the?
then of course the final move that I did was the crossface. Right after the
Yes.
ankle lock, after I let go of the ankle lock, I grabbed Chris and pulled him back in the ring, and I put him in the crossface. And that is the move that Black Savage does. So yes, you want to go there, fine, I will go there. Anything that can keep my opponent down for me to retain this championship, I will do it all. I don't care if it was the
Well, I
Undertaker's
listen.
last
I
ride.
used the line by any means necessary, and I brought that point up to you. So I mean, listen. To be fair,
Yeah.
I did bring that up. So I mean, listen. You have the prize that a lot of people want. And, we'll find out. And JR is obviously, he's not a Carnage fan, and he's saying that it makes sense, though. You want to go
I
to the next?
mean, being honest, if
Yeah.
they added, just being honest, if I really was working with Carnage here, I'm gonna tell you this.
What?
If I was working with Carnage, trust me, JR, Tribal Nation, and any other person that wanted to step towards us, you would want to. You would think twice. Trust me.
Well, maybe you're
So
telling JR to think twice about showing up on August 9th.
honestly, I've been saying that since day one. If that's what you want to do, come on, JR, show up. But guess what? I want you to show up because if you do, you are definitely going to taste a knuckle sandwich
Oh, well, that
personally
knuckle
from the
sandwich,
real deal.
it's going to definitely hurt. Let's just put it
Yeah,
that way.
it's definitely gonna hurt. He's gonna grab that Pocahontas glass jaw of his and lay down on the
And I'll
mat
tell you
for
who
him
just
too.
gave you a follow, and I got to give him a shout out. Maybe he's looking to scout you for an interview. My buddy Blaze the Bingo Hole. He is Young Lurch. He's got his own YouTube channel, very impressive channel. He's interviewed Just Incredible. He's interviewed a lot of other independent wrestlers out there. He just attended a show in West Virginia where our buddy Ace Christian won the WDWA Light Heavyweight Championship. So if you'd like to see what the one and only Blaze the Bingo Hall has to offer, and maybe he wants to get in touch with you and speaking with the rest of the establishment guys for his channel, check him out. So go give him a sub on YouTube. He's 3 away from 100. So
I
if you're
definitely
out there,
will.
yeah,
I
definitely.
definitely
Yeah, he
will.
may connect with you. He's a lot better, a lot better speaker than I am. Obviously, asked you a lot better questions. A lot better looking guy. So he's
Hey
a family
Tom,
man. It's a
man.
joke. I'm joking. My
I
friend
was about to
Abby.
say, come on, you
My
can't be
friend
not
Abby,
late.
who I really, was saying hello to, I think probably would agree at this because I haven't heard much from her on tonight's show. So obviously, she probably is a little down on me. I don't know, but give Justin Parsley a sub as well. His YouTube channel definitely is one. And see you soon, Jr. Carnage is telling JR Win to see him soon. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Just been training, working on my Hadoukens forever I face. No one is safe from my Hadoukens. Great. Very happy about that. It's been a year because HCW management didn't want Tribal Nation to make you all second acts every time we step in Prescott, Arkansas. Well, I'm going to leave that at that. The Real Deal Eclipse is the best. Get his shirts, guys. And you can do that on his Instagram page. You can also do that through the establishment Facebook page. And I still have something for you. I disagree with that. I do disagree because I heard we have trading cards, but I heard that your trading cards were sold out. And I heard Series 1 HCW trading cards, a lot of people bought them and own your cards, I heard, by the way.
Yes, they did. I didn't know.
Do you
I
own
did.
one of your own cards? I would hope you own one by now.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I have a custom one that I'm getting made, so I'm gonna have one of those, but it's also gonna be available for the fans as well. So,
Okay.
what I am gonna do is, as soon as I get some printed, the fans will be able to get some of those the
Very
custom
cool.
ones outside of the ones that the company has made for the deck and the series ones, twos, and
Nice.
possible whatever else comes with that. So I'm definitely going to be an owner of one of my cards. However, this custom card is going to be a rarity because it will only be a one-time thing.
Wow. Well, I always loved collecting trading cards as a kid. I used to go,
Yeah,
growing up in
yeah.
Brooklyn, I would go and collect NBA cards, football, baseball, and wrestling cards. And I've noticed now that trading cards have kind of come back. And I was in Manhattan on Saturday. I went into a card store, and it's like not the way it was, hole in the wall card store. It's like autograph, it's limited editions, it's, ring gear, it's just a whole bunch of stuff there. So you can go to the HCW Facebook page and check that out. And yeah, right. If you're voting for Carnage, go somewhere else. Woo Eclipse. Hit the sub button for Blaze. Who else we have here in the chat? Go
I can't.
Eclipse.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna subscribe to you, Blaze. I
Yeah,
definitely
Blaze
am.
is actually, you might be, you and Joey, because Joey just did a podcast. He's actually, I'll be honest, I'm gonna break the fourth wall. I don't usually endorse like too many like other podcasters because they don't know what they're doing or they don't know enough about the product. But he actually, he does ask some good questions. His dad was a wrestler, so it's a little bit more of a legitimate thing. We're gonna not go about that. We're not anything anybody's blind, but I love you, Eclipse, and you're the best, man. Don't let these foolish haters get to you. And yeah, we're gonna leave that at that. I think I'm gonna say hello, but that's that. But
JR, you're
yeah.
really, really showing your intelligence by going back and forth with my 13-year-old child.
That's why I didn't do that, but I think it's time before I get to the remaining parts of the show because I'm not going there. Like I said, that could be at other channels,
Oh,
but Mr. Eclipse,
that is
I've got
funny.
something for I've got yeah, I try to be funny. I've got something for you, and hopefully it'll lighten the
That's,
room up a little bit because congratulations, you are the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
thank you. I really
You know,
appreciate it, Tom. Thank you.
Joey was inducted yesterday, and I thought it'd be a good idea to induct you today because that way we would sidestep the question of issues in the establishment coming on SportsWire, and then when Aaron and Kip come on, they'll get it as well. So that way we don't.
Definitely would. Now I'm about to say, definitely won't be any jealousy there with us. Everything I pretty much will endorse those guys for sure.
Yeah,
There's no jealousy there at all. So
no,
hey,
no.
if Joey was said got it yesterday and I didn't get it today, hey,
The only
Joey,
reason you got it
congratulations.
today was because Joey was on yesterday. If you were on yesterday, you would have got it. So to be honest,
Oh well, hey, that
yeah.
would have been great to share something
I
on
know.
the
Well,
same day. That'd been great.
well, I should have did that, but well, you
Hey,
got it
no, it's
today.
okay, man. It's okay. It's okay.
I think in this one we could get a pass, and I know Aaron and Joey will. I'm sure will appreciate that as well as Kip, and Kip and Aaron will get it as well soon. And also, Deck Two reveal August 9th, and that's a great segue because I have something I want to put up to talk about here coming up for the remaining minutes of the show because we have a show on August 9th. It is the Recess Rumble. Bell time is 6 o'clock, and I was wondering here with everything we've spoke about. What can we expect from you, champ, on August 9th?
Well, August 9th is a special day for me. And I say that because I'm gonna take a dive into my personal life. That is my legitimate best friend's birthday.
Oh, happy
So
birthday.
yes, so I'm definitely going to have a lot on my mind already, as is, especially with him living in Connecticut, and
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm down here in the South. So it's something different because I haven't, we've spent many birthdays apart, but this one's gonna mean something different because we started our wrestling journey together, growing up as kids,
Oh, wow.
and
Okay.
everything. So it's totally different. But I will be there in the building. I don't know my stature of who I'm going to be competing up against just yet. But whatever comes is going to come. And like I said, I welcome all, but I fear none.
You said some interesting things there, and I was wondering also what your thoughts were on Bossman Jones because we spoke a lot about him with Joey last month, and kind of conspicuous here in all of this talk the last 2 days is Boss Man Jones. You would think Boss Man Jones would be the guy to settle all of this. We know what happened with Joey. Joey going somewhere. You guys went through what you went through. We talked about what happened, the battle with you guys in Carnage on the 29th, but yet conspicuous in all of this the last few weeks has been Boss Man Jones. And what is your thoughts on Boss Man Jones, or rather, where has Boss Man Jones been?
It's crazy because you're probably the first person to ask to ask me this. Well, I say that back. You're probably the second, maybe the third. I'm not
All
sure.
right. Well, maybe over
I
the
can't
fourth,
keep
the
up.
fifth, the sixth, the seventh, the eighth, the ninth,
Yeah,
and so on and so on.
but we have been asked, where is Boss Man Jones? Well, I will tell everyone this. So
Okay.
all the HCW universe, hope you're paying attention. Boss Man Jones has been at two of the shows this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you this much: he was pretty pleased by the turnout, and he loved everything that went on. However, the reason why no one has seen him is because he would much rather be incognito. He doesn't want to take the spotlight and put it on him because he's the real he thinks that he's the formation of the reason why the establishment has came together, but he's not the reason why we stayed together. I will tell you that. Yeah, we came together because of his advice,
Yeah.
but we stay together because of our brotherhood. So that's what makes it that much sweeter. Um, Now I will say this as well. When he did that with Joey and kind of stood him up
Yeah,
and
Aaron
then
was
hung up
upset
in
with
his
that,
face,
by the way.
I
Aaron was here.
was
We spoke about that. He was not
yeah,
happy.
I was not happy. I mean, just being honest, I was not happy at all. I literally got very very upset. I called Joey, and Joey didn't answer. You know, he hadn't. He was. I guess he was still mad and fuming. But when we got back to to the training facility, and he was showed up for training, and of course I showed up. That's when everything kind of went haywire. I mean, as you can
Yeah.
see, everything went haywire. Um, Now, Boss Man Jones, I hope you're watching this, but you were very wrong for that. You haven't replied back to my messages, which is kind of odd. And you've also kind of left us hanging there for a little bit. Makes me kind of wonder, something up with Boss Man Jones instead of everybody worried about me. I think we should be looking at Boss Man Jones, and being like, okay, why did you do that to Joey? And there's no
But
explanation
everything
behind
that's
it.
going on, but you know what? And in the center of all of this controversy with you guys, like I said, he's been conspicuous in his absence. And you would think if he was the guy that was so instrumental in the formation of the group, wouldn't
He
he
would put
want?
a face to the name. Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm
yeah.
I'm really kind of wondering because you've always been you're the champion. You're at the center of all this. Just what you're because I've asked Joey about it. Aaron, like I said, he wasn't that pleased, and I talked to him about it when he was here last month, and he kind of was like he was kind of upset, and I'm just kind of find this conspicuous in his absence the last few months that you guys have had all these problems.
Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of crazy that you say that because when me and Joey first got wind of of someone wanting to reach out to us and guide us in the right direction, we didn't know who it was, and it was all via text message and phone call. It was never a face-to-face thing. So the first time that we saw Boss Man Jones, to be honest, as an establishment members, the first time we seen Boss Man Jones was right after the April show when we did the 3-1. And Boss Man Jones was there. No one knows who he is except for us, but he was there in the building. He showed up one time and he left. He was there for the final count, the 1, 2, 3, and he left.
But this is just if he was more.
If he was more influential to us of the formation of us, yeah, he definitely should be around. I mean, we totally agree with that. I think that's why we're so frustrated because we've asked him, hey, let's meet up, let's talk business, let's get down to the bottom of this stuff, and let's literally grow from where we're
Yeah,
at. But we
because I
can't.
also think like anything else, right? That whether it's I get a lot of bands on, and there's always a manager, a management, and they help connect everything. And or when you think about just in sports, we have coaches, right? We talk about basketball, right? We talk about how important a coach can be, and in a way, Boss Man Jones is important in sort of those same type of roles. And I would think if he had been more front, if he had been more into these things, that maybe this would have avoided some of these. Maybe we would have put to bed what's going on with the establishment. Maybe we would have put to bed what's going on between you guys and Carnage. I know you guys wrestled Carnage a few weeks ago outside of HEW. I know that there was a 6-man match there and such. We saw the entrance. We know a lot of that has gone on. So I think maybe going into what's ahead here in the next weeks, and I want to break it here for the audience, by the way, before we get ready to sign off here in about 10 or 15 minutes. You're going to be back here. You're going to be back here, same time, same bat channel, August 11th, just like Joey is going to be here August 10th. We're going to have a nice little 1-2
Okay.
combo. MLB
Perfect.
All-Star. Everybody's talking about Cal Raleigh and Aaron Jones and Aaron Judge in baseball. And you and Joey are the same way for us for HCW coverage. Joey's here on Sunday, 8 o'clock on the 10th. You're here on the 11th. It could be 9, maybe a little bit 9, a little earlier. We had some thunderstorms here in the area, so we'll probably be around 9. So
That's
we're
fine.
going to get what's going to happen here from the Recess Rumble. We're going to certainly see if there's any news here from Boss Man Jones or whatever else goes on here. So you're going to be back here next month. You're going to be back here 1 month from now to talk about that. But I think that is also something that we could say has contributed into what has maybe not gone wrong, but has kind of left the establishment where you guys are. And obviously, again, Aaron comes up short in the social media title match, and Kip comes up short in the international title qualifier. So, there's a lot of these different things going on for you guys.
Yeah, definitely a lot there. And I hate that Kip and Aaron both came up short. The the cheating tactics of Black Savage. I mean, geez, that has literally been all this man has been able to do. If you ain't twin magicking you or chaining someone to a post in this case, or using a weapon to retain, oh man, it's different. Now, don't get me wrong, there has been some clear, straight, clean cut victories, but when it comes down to Aaron Black, there has been some trajectory foolishness that has gone on, and honestly speaking, I don't like it. So I feel like, and I hope management is listening to this, but Aaron Black deserves another, and I mean another fair one-on-one matchup against Black Savage for the social media championship. And I feel like that if management gives that to him, and it can be his last match, it can be his last one for sure. It can be his last chance. But just know that last chance, he is going to capitalize. I feel like that. I feel like he deserves it, and I feel like he's going to get it.
Well, we're going to find out. We are certainly going to find
Yeah,
out.
we definitely are.
There's a lot that I know we're going to unpack here, and I want to get to some more comments because you have a lot of people here that do want to say hello. And if you're here, hit the sub button for us. We'll appreciate that very much. And keep going, Eclipse. Don't let any hate get to you, bro. You got this. Eclipse is a goodie. Yeah, we love you, Eclipse. You definitely you do have some supporters as well. Let's not say it's all one-sided. Go Eclipse. There you go. You got the people out here. Definitely.
Oh
Oh, you
gosh,
know
my
what? They're
kids.
here. They're doing a good job. Maybe they want an allowance. No, only kidding. Only kidding. Only kidding. Although when I was a kid, I really
Please don't throw any ideas, Tom.
I well, you know what? They'll be like when I was a kid. I didn't get an allowance until until I got a bank account. That was then by that point I was giving my parents the allowance. But that's okay. I'm doing pretty well right now. Want to say hello to my friend Athena, Valley Girl Odd out there. She does a number of different things, some singing, some other stuff. Thank you from the city from brotherly love in Philadelphia. There you go. We love Philadelphia. I love you, Eclipse. Yes, yes, yes. Eclipse is on Instagram. If you're here on Instagram, let's get him some more followers. Also, here, Michael would be here. Aaron got handcuffed to the ring. You just said that as well. You just did say that.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yes, you did. And I think I got the point. I think you do have some fans. I think the missus is also a big fan. So we're not going to
Of
say
course. They're all on here.
yeah, I see that. I'm not gonna go and get it back and forth with Jr. When I think Jr. I hope Jr. knows who he's dealing with. He's dealing with your family.
I
Not a
mean,
great
hey,
idea.
I will say this, JR, the last
Maybe
person
not
that
show
had
up on August 9th after that.
I was just about to say that the last person that had a little run in with the family, let's just say they did not make
Yeah,
it
let's
back
not
to here.
let's not go there. Let's not go
Yeah,
there.
let's
But
not go there.
I
In other
can't
words,
ban
JR,
anybody right now.
in other words, JR, you're not invited to the barbecue, so stay at home, okay?
All right. So obviously we've talked a lot today, and I get the sense that you're gonna continue to say it's all mine. What I've learned tonight before closing thoughts is this: it's mind games you've been playing with Carnage. You're still the plan. You guys are brothers. You even talked about just before that the reason the establishment has continued is because you consider Kip, Aaron, and Joey brothers. You've talked about the situation with the tag belts. You explained that with Kip. You talked about the entrance here that we just showed before. You've talked about Carnage being here in the chat. You've answered them directly. You've talked about why you did what you did to Chris Preston. You've talked about what's happened after that. We've addressed Boss Man Jones. So pretty much going into August 9th, we've asked you most of almost everything we can, and you've answered. I mean, so at this point, what I do want to ask you, going into Recess Rumble, do you have any final words? We still don't know who you're going to be facing. We have a few weeks for that. We still don't know what's going to happen with the rest of the guys here in the group, but do you have any final words before the Recess Rumble, at least on here, or anything you want to say to anybody out there before August 9th?
Yes. So to everyone and anyone and everyone in the sound of my voice, I would love for you guys to come and support. Again, come and support the HCW Recess Rumble. Bell time will be at 6 p.m. We have tickets available online and in person at the door. And we would love for you to come out. And even if it's your first time being at our facility, you're going to want to come back. We will welcome you with open arms. And for everyone in that locker room who thinks they're ready to step up to the plate and get a taste of what it feels like to be in the ring with the real deal Eclipse, the world heavyweight champion, real deal Eclipse, trust me, you will find out that I welcome all, I fear none, and you will be put on notice. Straight like that.
Whoa! That's why, ladies and gentlemen, he is the HCW Undisputed Champion. That's why he is going to be a huge part of August 9th's Recess Rumble. We will have coverage of that once again. Right there's that prize. We once again are going to have coverage, post Recess Rumble coverage. August 10th, Sunday night, 8 o'clock. Joey's here. Joey Knight Jr., a hardcore champion, and the champ himself, the undisputed champion, the real deal Eclipse, is going to be here 9 o'clock. Monday, 9th, the 11th. And yes, we want everyone to experience HCW at least once. I also want everybody to hit a sub
She's the
button for me.
best. Miss
Yes,
Sam is the best. This is, I'm finna break fourth wall for a second. That lady right there is the main reason why a lot of our creativity comes to life, because of her mental and because of what she puts out, the positive energy and everything. She is
love that.
amazing. So definitely, Sam, if you, I know you're watching this, you're amazing. Don't let no one else do anything or say anything less. You are amazing. You are amazing.
No,
Keep
we
it up,
love
and
that. No,
thank you.
we
And
want
thank you.
positivity, and we've had a lot of
Yes.
people here today. A lot of people here have been talking to you. We really appreciate that. And please support HCW on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram.
Oh, yes.
I want.
And she made my shirt. Yes, she
Well,
made my
that's
shirt.
another reason why you
Yeah,
got to
this is
go
my
out and
first one.
support them.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the actual first shirt that she made me, the real
Oh
deal
wow, what a
Eclipse, and
beautiful looking shirt.
has my moniker put on notice on there, and then my straight like that on my sleeve over here. So yeah, it's man, she's really really talented and really good. But
Love
like
that.
you said, she would love we would love for at least you to experience at least once. And trust
I
me,
wish I lived
once
in
you
Arkansas. I wish I lived in Prescott, Arkansas, because I'd be there
come,
front and
we're
center.
gonna have to fly you. I guess me and the guys are gonna have to fly you out
You
just
know,
for a
I
show
we'll,
for a
we'll figure it
weekend.
out. You know, maybe next year because this year I think it's going to be a little tricky, but maybe next year because I got to tell
That's
you
fine.
next year's going to be different because I think this year I have some changes I'm doing with different things. Next year might be the year that I go out to a place and certainly HCW is on the agenda because I love Arkansas. Let me tell you something. I love Arkansas. I love all of the beautiful people in Prescott, Arkansas. And shout out to Fearless Films, by the way. I know that they've done some stuff for us here with the
He's
establishment.
amazing. The lady behind that is
Yes,
amazing as well. My goodness, Miss
unbelievable stuff.
Sandy's amazing. Yes,
Yes,
she is
yes. And
amazing.
Sandy followed us, and I want to give Sandy a nice little plug. And definitely, please support Sandy and all the great
And,
things
and
that
and
she
and I
does.
don't mean to cut you off, but man,
Mhm.
what's crazy is
What?
while we were doing the show, it was a tri company show, but
Hmm.
it was streamed live on Invictus Powerlifting or
Oh
Vicus
wow!
or Yeah, so we were streamed on their stuff, the weightlifting competition, and of course, it was the first. It was the first time it had ever been done, to my knowledge. And
Wow.
she's not even from the area. She's not from Little Rock or Arkansas. She's from St. Louis, Missouri. So,
Well,
so
guess you
we
never know. Listen, I said this
so
a
we've
couple days
made
ago, but
traction.
yeah,
Yes, yeah,
people,
we've made
listen.
traction.
I talk to people all over the world in my 5 years in doing this. I have on my count on my hand how many people I've actually spoken to from my area. So that's what the power of wrestling is. We're all listen.
Right.
Wrestling brings us together in so many ways. Let's be on the same page. And yeah, I'm not going to go and talk about the JR back and forth, but the people that have come with me don't want to leave and are ready for the next show and they leave. I agree with that. We love HCW on here.
That's
I'm
my
like,
best friend as well, man, and
I
I can
see
tell
that.
you,
Yeah, Mike
man.
is. We're friends on Facebook.
Yes,
Thank you, Mike.
yes.
And Jr. respects Sam because he wants to show up in the building, maybe. But yeah, give Fearless Films a follow. And I love Prescott, Arkansas. I'm not going there. We love Arkansas on Sportswire. And yes, the real deal is here. He is most certainly here. And by the way,
What's up,
before we get
Noah?
to closing thoughts, he's in the Hall of Fame now too. You can call him not only the HCW Undisputed Champion, but he's also a Hall of Famer here. And he talked a lot tonight, a lot here about the establishment, a lot about Recess Rumble, a lot about Freedom Fight Night, a lot about Carnage, a lot about Chris Preston, a lot about Boss Man Jones, a lot about what happened outside of HCW. There is a lot to get to, but I am sure you'll find out more of it here very soon. Also, one more time here coming up August 11th, 9 o'clock, the Real Deal Eclipse will be back on Sportswire Radio post Recess Rumble. I know you're a busy man. I want to pass the baton to you. I want to give you closing thoughts. I want to put your Instagram up here one more time so we can get you some more followers and anything else you want to plug, share, or say. I leave it to you, champ. And memorable episode here. You definitely did not disappoint, and take it away.
First of all, I just want to say, Tom, thank you for this tremendous opportunity to expose myself on your platform. I really appreciate that exposure. Fans that are watching from near and far, follow and like and subscribe to Hayborn Championship Wrestling page. We're all on pretty much on all platforms. Same thing with me and my establishment members. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram, and I guess TikTok on some of the guys. But
Yeah,
of course,
Joey's on
me,
TikTok, I think. Joey's on
yeah.
TikTok.
But of course, me, the real deal Eclipse. Just speaking on me, hey, I'm on Instagram. Like, follow, subscribe. Me on Facebook as well. I have a Facebook page as well. And I would like for you guys to come and experience what it's like to be in the world of the real deal. As you can
Absolutely.
say, as you can see on my page on Facebook, it says, "Welcome, time to be put on notice." So look at it, time to be put on
And
notice.
put on
So
no, you have it on
don't worry.
Instagram too. Instagram has it.
Yeah, and I definitely don't want you to miss out. So like, follow, subscribe, keep up, and interact. Even message me, for crying out loud. I'm a very active person with responses.
Yeah.
So definitely would be open to that as well. So like I said, like, follow, subscribe, all platforms, ACW, all establishment members. Kip Havoc, Joey Knight Jr., Aaron Black, and of course myself, the
Yeah.
Real Deal Eclipse. And of course, keep in tune, because on the Facebook, I mean, not the Facebook page, but the YouTube page, Hayborn Championship Wrestling's YouTube page, we will be dropping this past show, Freedom Fight Night. It will be
Yes.
dropped. So for you fans that missed out, guess what? It'll be on your tuning to tune in at by the end of the week. And we'll go from there as well with the next show, which will be held on August 9th. Recess Rumble. Get ready. It's about to go down.
Oh, I cannot wait for all of that. Please subscribe, like, and follow all those pages there. Yes, go follow Eclipse and buy his merchandise. Check him out on Facebook. And also, I want to give one more plug to myself because we are on a new YouTube channel in addition to this one here. My old YouTube channel is I found. So we're on 5 different YouTube pages. So if you are here and you want to go out and check out my old YouTube channel where we're on. You can check that out and hit a sub, because I've most likely subbed to your page there. So hit the sub button for me there. Hit the sub button for us here on Sportswire Radio, and you can see some of my old content. But in the meantime, definitely please support HCW. Please support all the great things that they have to offer. Definitely support the Real Deal Eclipse, and he's definitely the newest Hall of Famer, and definitely we'll give you the physical copy when we're off the air. And looking forward to August 11th. A lot to talk about, I am sure. Very excited about that. And my friend, thank you as always. Congratulations on a successful title defense. Looking forward to seeing what's ahead here next month in the world of HCW. And I can't wait. And I look forward to what's ahead here. And I'm sure we'll have a lot more things to talk about on August 11th.
Yes, I know we definitely do. Thank you for having me. And of course, if you're not down with that, I got 2 words for you.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good way to end things here. But that is the Real Deal Eclipse, and he definitely was the real deal. He delivered here and some. Not only is he the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, he is also the reigning defending HCW World Heavyweight Champion after successfully retaining his title in a lumberjack match against Chris Preston. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally where all music and wrestling matters. Thank you so much, everybody here, for tuning in. Hit the sub button for us. Hit the sub button for my Ring Fever page. Also, please support HCW and all their pages. I want to say hello to Abby if you're out there. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to everybody else here. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the number one Global Radio station, the Sportswire Radio, where all music and wrestling matters. See you tomorrow, everybody. Have a great night.